But people that are autistic on the spectrum, a lot of times they have those very literal thoughts, right? And that, well, you didn't ask me for coffee in a cup, you asked me for a cup, and you didn't ask me for a small order plate of fries or whatever. You asked me for a small fry, so it didn't even get cooked. It was like I brought him a frozen small fry and a and a cup and a mug, like, because that's what he asked me for. He didn't ask me to cook it. He didn't, and I mean, I was just being a smart ass, but like, that's sort of an example of how an autistic mind might think in the literal sense, right?
Well, my
Um,
stepson, he has Asperger. Well, they used to term it
Asperger,
Asperger's,
yeah,
so
they
I
used,
know
yeah,
all about this. You will have to show him
yes,
step by step, step by step by step.
yes, and it
Thank you
has to
so
be
much.
very, very detailed because any loophole that you leave is going to be found. So when my daughter was 3, she had colored on the walls with markers. And I said, "Did you color on the walls?" "No." And I said, "Well, why are you lying to me?" "I'm not lying to you." "Well, who colored on the walls?" "The markers did." "Well, who was using the markers?" Right? So you have to be very. She was diagnosed as an adult because at the time, that's like children are highly intelligent. So
Yeah,
thank you,
I've read
Chris.
off topic, but I've read it's hard to get a diagnosis as an adult. Is that true?
Yes, I think so. We have there's a program here, or there's a clinic here. I think it's called Frida, Frida. I don't know if it's North American wide or if it's just in Canada. But it's for adults. Yes, and especially for women. Hey, little tag, welcome in. Especially for women, because oftentimes women are just, we're a ball of hormones, and doctors don't necessarily know what to do with us because they just started researching women in like the early to mid 90s. We were always just clumped under all of the research that they're just small men. It's okay. Like, God.
Somebody was nice enough to give me a gift, but hey, thank you so much. I just don't know what I'm doing over here. But thank you so much. I'm just trying to find the right button to thank them, and I don't. I've got some practice to do, you
Oh,
guys. But thank you so
so
much.
if you hit your 3 lines at the bottom and opens up your control panel,
Okay.
which is where you add your songs and stuff. So in the very top row in the middle there it says gifts received. If you click on that,
Okay. I just thought. Okay.
then it
Thank you.
brings up your list. Yeah.
No.
When you use that feature for yourself and for anybody else who broadcasts that doesn't know this, when you use that thank you feature from your control panel, it actually boosts where you sit on the recommended pages for lives. Like, you'll get bumped up because it's more interaction with your audience.
Oh.
And if you have an admin set in your live, which you can do under the manage button, that where you can get rid of people too. You can also set an admin. If you have an admin set, they can open the control panel and they can thank your audience for gifting you.
Did you know we're getting song requests, Angela?
What are your song requests?
I don't know if I know this one. This is by Don't Cry Joni by Conway Twitty. Don't really, I don't know if I know
Uh,
that one. Never heard of that.
I don't know. I don't usually do requests because
Yeah, I don't
I
know
always
that
say I
one.
don't know that song. I might know it if I've heard it, but so maybe we should sing a couple songs. What do you think?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Oh
I'll tell
gosh,
you what, I'll be, if you come back and we do this again, I might learn this song and sing it for you. There we go.
there you go. So if I hit this, I'm gonna hit once more just to show you what it looks like.
Okay.
Don't cry, Joni. Don't Cry, Joni by Conway Twitty and Joni Lee. I don't know
Go ahead, it's up.
if... Yep. I don't know if I know that one either.
I don't. I know I don't.
I don't know country music. I could
I
put
do,
it on
but
and
I
try
don't know a
it.
lot of Conway Twitty.
I don't know if I know it. Joni Lee, Don't Cry. Do you want to put on a song first, or do you want me to? I haven't sung anything yet today.
Yeah, you go first then.
I don't want to do something too hard because I don't think my voice can handle
You know,
it.
it's not all the time that I can talk with people who's worked with such a rounded, you know, like, maybe that wasn't the right word, but like I've worked with a lot of different populations. Does that make sense? So usually I don't get to really talk with folks like you who's worked a lot of different populations too. Does that make sense?
Yeah, just a second here. I'm going to just pause this. Pause. Thank you, fantastic. Great live today, we hear. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. Hello. So, summarize before I put the song on. If you have seasonal affective disorder, depression, higher levels of depression this time of year, a lot of people have the same thing going on. You're not alone. See your doctor, because there is help, pharmaceutical help, but it is also a multi-layered self-help, self-directed help too, because you do need to be looking after yourself and self-care. Proper amount of sleep, proper foods, proper activities, exercise, proper amount. Those are all ways that you can help yourself work through the next few months where it's exceptionally hard. Mindful meditation. Yes, mindful meditation. A lot of people say they don't know how to meditate or they can't do it. Really, if you can breathe, you can meditate, because it is normal. It is perfectly, perfectly normal to have a lot of racing thoughts even while you're meditating, because our brains are always active. Think about it. Even when you're asleep, you dream, right? So what I think that people don't necessarily understand about meditation is that they think that they have to have a clear head, like nothing in it. But that's not a fact. That's a myth. Returning to your breath when you get distracted by your thoughts, that's meditation. That's nervous system regulation.
I think, off topic, I think you touched on something very interesting, and you should probably teach this, Angela, at some point. This whole keeping up with your activities. That'd be very helpful to a lot of folks.
You mean like tracking and
right, and the way you talked about, like you learned to journal. I mean, those are
yes.
real effective, helpful tools that people could use
Yes.
even this time of year. And it's not taught a whole lot.
No, it's not, because there's no money in helping somebody to not have to go to the doctor every 2 weeks. I mean, let's be real.
Helpful. That's very helpful, though.
Yes. Sleep hygiene is probably one of the most important things a person can focus on first.
True. Somebody
And what that would
cut the screens off. Get
yes.
offline. After,
yes, absolutely. That's a really good way, like limiting your screen time. So that's another good way too, because we have way too much screen time, and the screen time overstimulates your brain too. Kind of turns you into a zombie. If you look at photos of I encourage you all to Google photos of children looking at cell phones versus children looking like outside playing, riding bikes, whatever, or having a discussion face to face. I I encourage you to go look at those photos and see if you see what I see when I look at those photos, because what I see is kids' faces are there. It's almost like they're in a trance when they're looking at a screen, which is very scary to me. I was very limiting with my children when they were growing up for screen time and television and all that. Like, I'm bored. Okay, well, here's this stick and rock and rope. Figure something out with it. Like,
Yeah, but for
don't build
real,
a.
like, this sounds very boring, right? But when you're dealing with depression or whatever, even bipolar disorder, routine is so helpful. You know,
It's
you can
very
take your
important.
medicine about the same time every day, or you can get up about the same time, go to bed about the same time.
Go to bed
It
at the same
sounds
time. Yeah,
boring, but it's so helpful for your mental health.
absolutely is. Yeah, the sleep hygiene is probably one of the most important things. That is where, if someone were asking me for advice on where to start, that's where I would start. I would start with the sleep hygiene. 5 o'clock bedtime. Yeah, me too. 5 o'clock. As soon as I'm off here, I'm gone to bed. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm just kidding. But some people require more sleep than others, and that, when you have a chronic condition, oftentimes you need more rest. Your brain needs more time to sleep to recover from your activities, and that's okay. We're all
I do
different.
think you should, I don't know if you've ever done it, but if you haven't, think about just teaching that, um, like doing a live and teaching that one day.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good
That's
idea.
even something I
Well,
would
definitely.
be interested in learning.
I think I actually might have some worksheets too on that. So we call it pacing.